All right, folks, before we begin tonight's show, I have to give everyone an emergency update, a new breaking news update as of just now that I think is very important. Okay, and I know some people might look at this and say it's unprofessional. I'm sure someone's going to give me a hard time, whatever. But I genuinely think we have to interrupt the regularly scheduled programming because something very important just came in the mail that I just have to show you guys, which is that I just bought a Burmese python. Okay? Now, before you call Florida Animal Services on me, because anyone who lives here knows these are invasive species, it's dead. Okay? It's a dead Burmese python. But it is a preserved in a jar Burmese python. Okay? Look at it. Look how fresh. Do you look at him? Look how fresh this guy looks. This thing is, it looks, I know you can't really see it because of the glare, but it looks so insanely alive. Now, you're probably thinking to yourself, why did Vince buy a python? Like, I know what you guys are all thinking, which is Vince has officially lost his mind. He needs to be institutionalized. Frankly, what the H is wrong with him? Someone needs to, like, just stop this man, okay? So you're probably asking, why did you spend $100 on a Burmese python that's not even alive? Well, to give you the answer, look at this thing. To give you the answer, one of my favorite python hunters on Instagram killed 50 Burmese python hatchlings, and he was selling them. And I was like, I need to buy that. I need to literally have a python preserved in a jar. So we have the python. Just want to let you know, I might... Where should I put him? I mean, I don't really want to put him next to the Bible because that's a bad look. But should we put him right here? Okay? He needs a name. All right, we got the Python mascot on the stream, and we'll talk about him more tonight. But yeah, anyways, guys, just wanted to let you know because I got that like 10 minutes ago in the mail. Let's get into the show tonight, everyone. Stay tuned. Look at Dirty Mike. He says, that's what you use my super chats for? Yes, Dirty. Is there an issue, Dirty Mike? Is there an issue? You're just jealous. You're just jealous that you don't have a Burmese python. This is so true. But, ladies and gentlemen, we are live tonight from the great state of Florida. Welcome, everyone, to the Vince Dao Show. It is August 16th, the year of our Lord 2023, and I am your Burmese python owning host. Dirty Mike is just jealous. This is very true. Vince Dao. And we got a little bit different of a show for you tonight, not just because we have a Burmese python, but also because since today, frankly, let's be real, was a pretty slow news day, I want to do the show a little differently tonight where we react to some of the best liberal TikToks that I have seen. Then really quickly want to talk about this one news story that there is where apparently stating, according to official now sitting members of Congress, stating very basic and central beliefs to Christianity are apparently bigoted and anti-Semitic. We got to talk about that. And then, since, like I said, it's kind of a slow news day, we will do Q&A for an extended portion. We may even do call-ins. I'm not actually sure on that, but we're going to do Q&A tonight. So, actually send in questions. I know every time I say we're doing a Q&A portion, I kind of just read the chat. This is going to be a structured Q&A portion. So feel free to send in questions, especially via the super chats. I'll take questions from the super chats first and then read the live chat. But yeah, we're doing a live open Q&A, just interacting with you guys because, like I said, there's not a lot to talk about in the news. But with that said, ladies and gentlemen, let's get into this. And of course, I do want to tell you guys more about the python, but we'll wait a little bit for that. I don't want to make the whole start of the show about the python, but they did give me this paper. Okay, it's a wet python care guide. Okay, so we're gonna go through it in a second, but first. Let's do this first. Be sure to leave a like on the stream right now, and let's get into it. But before I do, I know I got two super chats right here, so let me read them there really quickly. Z Commander 9088 says, I don't have the sound effect thing. Okay, well, sorry about that. Says, rip baby python. I know it's an invasive species, but still, Thank you for the $2 Z Commander. I mean, yeah, I suppose, but do you see grown Burmese pythons? Okay, those things are menaces, and they're snakes. I kind of hate snakes, so I don't know if I really feel bad for the Burmese python. You know, he shouldn't be here. Shouldn't have come to America, buddy. Very true. But yes, it is true. The baby python is indeed dead. So rest in peace to the python. And Dirty Mike for $2 says, no issue. I'm jealous. It's so true. Yeah, this is real. This is real. You know, a lot of YouTubers out there, you send us super chats. What do they spend money on? Cocaine, you know, alcohol, prostitutes. Okay, at least you know here the money is going to a good place. Okay, the money is going to a Burmese python. This is very true. And, you know, it's funny. Everyone always part of my logic with this was I feel like it's having a designer piece of clothing, because everyone always wants the snakeskin, right? Snakeskin wallet, snakeskin belt, snakeskin shoes. I'm like, screw all of you. It's the ultimate flex. Screw all of you. I don't have a snakeskin. I have an actual snake. Okay, I literally have the actual snake. So, you know, I stand by the decision. I think it was, frankly, the wisest thing I've ever spent money on, frankly, in my entire life. But with that said, ladies and gentlemen, enough of the python. We'll talk more about it later tonight. I do want to get into our liberal TikTok reaction segment, because we basically have just got libs of TikTok pulled up, and let's react to some of these. It'll be fun. Okay, headline TikTok we got to react to here tonight is of this girl saying that if you have an American flag in front of your house, not just you're probably a racist, but it literally equals the Confederate flag, okay? We want to react to that, but first, for context, I think we need to react to... We've done this one before, but this was from a few days ago, of the Australian girl in the US saying that America has too many American flags in it. Because how dare the country of America have a bunch of American flags? Let's react to this, and then we'll get into the headline TikTok tonight, okay?
I'm just gonna say it. There are too many American flags. Like, they're on houses, they're on cars, saw them on couch cushions. Like, I don't know who's making these American flags, but they'd be making a bloody fortune. And like, you're the only country that I know that does this. Like, the only time I think I've ever seen an Australian flag is like on the Harbour Bridge. Could not tell you what it looks like. Like, I know it's like blue and it's got some stars on it, but I think I could draw the American flag from memory. Like, I think I could make a bloody sculpture out of it. That's how many times I've seen it. It's enough. Let's pull back on it, okay? Let's stay humble.
Okay, so there you have it. There, you know, she comes to America and is very mad that she sees the American flag. I don't know what she expected to see. Probably the pride flag, let's be real. I don't know what she expected to see, but yes, of course, how dare America have the American flag in it, right? And how dare the fact that this foreigner, this person who's not even from the US, the fact that they don't like the American flag, how dare the United States not conform to her, you know, thinking that there's too many flags everywhere, okay? And by the way, you know, I always hear this every time they say them. Oh, no other country but America has their flag everywhere like this. And, you know, maybe that's true in, say, Western Europe, because there's even less national pride in Western Europe and places like Canada than there is in the US these days. And look, the US doesn't even have much to brag about these days, but there's still less. But, you know, I'm going to venture to imagine a lot of the Eastern countries, let's just say, I virtually guarantee you in China, there's Chinese flags everywhere. Or if not the flag, because part of it, that's how Americans express ourselves, is the flag. But if not the flag, you know, whatever they have, right? The Mao Zedong poster or whatever, okay? And I know people are going to say, so you're saying America's authoritarian too. No, it's just the point of a strong country is going to, in some sense, have an expression of dignity and honor and pride in that country, right? So, you know, and I have to imagine America's not the only one, okay? Any of you people in other countries watching this, at least outside of Australia, because apparently, you know, it's very evil in Australia to have the Australian flag. Do you see your flag of your own country in those places? Because that seems to make sense to me. I think if you go to any country, not just the United States, any country, it shouldn't be a shock to see the flag of that country. But anyways, that's sort of the preliminary introduction to the video we're going to react to tonight, which is this whole how dare Americans fly the American flag trend is getting worse. Because here's a girl just straight up saying that, as you can see, American flag equals Confederate flag. Okay, so if you have an American flag in your house, on your porch, whatever it is, you're straight up apparently a KKK member. Let's take a listen here, folks.
So I'm walking around in a racist white neighborhood, and I noticed how if I see a pickup...
Okay, first off, just gonna... I don't know what's going on with that voice. I think this person is a... Okay, just whatever.
So I'm walking around in a racist white neighborhood, and I noticed how if
this person is a child of... Yeah, okay.
If I see a pickup truck with an American flag, it's basically like the Confederate flag. Like, every time I see an American flag, I cringe, because the American flag is like the new Confederate flag, right?
Even she's like, okay. Even the black girl.
It's safe to say, if you see a pickup truck with the American flag, that person is a racist. Okay, and if you have an American flag in front of your house, you're probably a racist. You're probably a racist.
I mean, I don't even know what to say. I don't even know what to say. Other than, to a degree, it does give you an idea of how the far left, and honestly, let's just say that by this point, the mainstream left, it's all the same, views America itself, right? This is sort of the basis of the whole critical race theory thing, is that America is foundationally racist, and if you in any way have the flag out, that yourself is racist. If you celebrate America, if you celebrate the country, that itself is racist. So you guys got that? If you have the American flag out, you are racist, which of course means that, I don't know, when the White House has the American flag on top, I'm sure, you know, that means Joseph Robert Brandon is a real demo KKK rat, of course, right? This is just so true. This is so true, right? Again, don't even know what to say to that. Anyways, continuing here on our trend of literally everything is racist, which in fact, maybe we should later in the stream, since, like I said, there's not a lot to talk about news-wise, maybe later in the stream, we should do the little experiment where you Google everything that's racist, okay? Because if you Google, you guys can try it right now. Google any household item, you know, milk, coffee, plates, dinner plates, TVs. Just Google blank is racist. You'll find literally everything. But here you go. New one coming for you guys. If you're white and you liked Jason Aldean's "Try That in a Small Town" song, you are inherently racist. So if you listen to a song about small town values and how, you should defend yourself from violent criminals, and sorry, my bad. If you want to defend yourself from crime and want to live in a safe community, of course, that is a construct of white supremacy, which we all know, of course. Let's take a listen here.
Oop, and quick little PSA, and I've been meaning to make this for a while, about that, and it's such a bad song, y'all. Objectively, the Jason Aldean song "Try That in a Small Town" is really bad. But anyway, if you're a white person and you identify with it and you want to defend it and be vocal about the fact that you like it and you understand it, and in the face of black people telling you that the song is racist and the video is incredibly racist.
Are you a black person? Why are you speaking for black people? I guess she is.
You want to scream that it's not racist. Whether a song is racist or not, that makes you inherently racist.
How?
Just a little food for thought. And before...
Actually, that is actually a perfect demonstration of the left's modern definition of racism, quote unquote, contemporary definition, I should say. And that's why I don't even take the words. I don't even take the word or the concept seriously. It's not even. It's just, what even is it? Oh, apparently, if you have an opinion as a white person that contradicts with the opinions of certain black people, then you are a racist. Okay, well then, all right. So what does it mean then to be racist? That's what I don't care when people call me racist. I don't have this defensive. No, I have a. But how could I be? I'm just like, what? You're saying something to me that has no meaning. Your words have no power over me. Okay. And this is true, because that's apparently a certain definition of racist. If you as a white person disagree with a black person, then you are racist. Okay, well, all right. What do you want us to do? What do you want us to do about it? Truly.
Or y'all go lighting up my comments with the I don't know what I'm talking about.
You don't.
The not me, not all, and all the other standard shit. Just stop and think the logic through. Anyway, these are just my thoughts. Y'all, go have a day.
Think the logic through of what? The logic through of if you disagree with a black person, that means you're racist? What logic are you referring to? Think it through. Okay, let's think it through, all right? This song never mentions race. It mentions crime, okay? The song is about defending yourself against crime and the kind of small towns not tolerating crime and mass violence and mass lawlessness and people fighting each other and killing each other. And so on no grounds is the song, at least in our eyes, right? On no grounds does the song really have anything to do with race, because it's about small town values. It's about the fact that if anyone of any skin color in a small town tries to do a lot of the stuff you can get away with in the big cities, okay, then there you go. However, what I would point out is that if somehow saying you're going to defend yourself against crime, if saying a small town community does not tolerate crime, if not tolerating crime is racist, okay, if racism means you're anti-crime, you don't like crime, you don't particularly care for criminals running amok in the city, and if that is somehow racist and anti-black, then I don't know. Those are her words, not mine. This is true. This is true. Okay. I don't know. I don't know what to say at this point. Okay. You read the lyrics of the song. It never mentions race. It mentions crime. All right. It mentions crime. So if talking about crime and being against crime is racist, then I think the left just spoke for themselves. Okay. They just spoke for themselves. We didn't say it. They said it. And then, what else can you say about it? Okay. Moving on here in our TikToks. I think this is the last one we have. And then we're going to get into the story about Christianity that, we got to talk about here in a second. But here is this progressive bishop. Okay. So AKA, you just have a complete false teacher. But here is one of these progressive Christian bishops, quote unquote, claiming that Jesus was bisexual. All right, this is the last TikTok we got here for this segment.
And resist hate speech.
Yeah, here we go.
Wise up and resist hate speech. Jesus was bisexual. Many use the Bible as a hateful, homophobic attack. It's an own goal. The Bible indicates that Jesus was bisexual, saying he had a special love for John. It says repeatedly that John was the one that Jesus loved. John was the only male disciple present at the crucifixion, and Jesus' last words implored his mother to regard his love, John, as his partner, their son-in-law, part of her family.
I just can't. It's just so unbelievably stupid, okay? And by the way, I think in many ways it's also perverted. It really is. It actually shows you how gross of perverts these people are. Because I think even non-Christians understand this. Jesus' love for John and the apostles and the world as a whole is not a sexual or romantic love, okay? It's in the same way that you love your brothers and you love your family. It's a platonic love. It's not a sexual or romantic love. And that is so easy for people to understand. Anyone who truly loves, right? I love my friends. I love my father. I love my grandfather. That's not sexual. That's not romantic. And to imply that it is disgusting and perverted. But notice, that's their framework here. Is to them, and that shows you how sick and disgusted these perverts actually are, is that they can't comprehend any love that's not sexual. That's not sexual. Okay, so when they read in the Bible, apparently when God so loved the world, John 3:16, which these people love to quote regularly, but don't quote what comes after that. Okay, when God so loved the world, apparently according to these people, it's because God wants to have sex with the world. God is sexually attracted to all of us. That is so unbelievably blasphemous and disgusting. And it, like, you know, I think everyone's skin crawls just hearing that. But it goes to show you, right? That is the ultimate cell phone. This guy is a pervert, okay? And I guarantee, let me just speculate here. I guarantee you, I'm not going to say it, but, you know, it's, you know, let's just say, just pointing that out. This is perverted and disgusting. Not only is it blasphemous, but it shows how perverted his brain actually is to believe this.
Christian art shows John and Jesus physically close, embracing, cuddling, lying upon each other.
So there you go. When two guys hug each other, okay, they make it sexual. And this is what any male fraternity, the left always does this, where any male fraternity is sexual. But it's even more disgusting here because you claim to be a bishop talking about our Savior, and you're doing this, right? You're doing this whole thing where, yeah, I'm sure Jesus and John were sodomizing each other. I think that's this guy's perverted, disgusting sexual fantasy, and he's projecting it and calling it theology. It's just...
James I, King of England, justified his own bisexuality with reference to Jesus being gay. Priests, bishops, philosophers, and theologians have agreed.
Okay, so because some heretic also... See, this is... You know, they always do this too, right? They say, my heresy is justified because, look, some other heretic said it too. Okay, yes, I'm actually fully aware there are other people out there who agree with you. Okay, there's other people who believe wrong ideas besides you, including people who call themselves priests and theologians. And guess what they are? They're just wrong. Okay? Oh, so this person in history also said this. The progressive Christians do this all the time. Yeah, they're wrong. Okay? They're wrong.
Jesus was also close to women. When Jesus was invited to dinner by one of the religious leaders, a sex worker came and washed his feet, dried them with her hair, and massaged them with oil. On another occasion, he was found breaking custom and chatting alone with a woman collecting water.
So here we go again with the perversion, okay? Yes, Christ interacted with both men and women, and he loves humanity. Yes. Now he's making it all sexual. Like, it's actually, like, you can tell the guy's I mean, there's something about the physiognomy there, but true. You can tell the guy's a creep. The guy's a complete creep. Okay? I would never in a million, just by hearing him say this and the way he's saying it, never send you, if this church has a daycare, okay, never send your kids here. Because I'm not accusing him of anything. I'm not. But this energy is not something, let me just say, I want to be around children. Truly. Because this guy legitimately is a pervert. And that's what he's projecting in this whole thing.
Judgmental men were about to stone a woman to death for adultery. He stopped them. And then there was Mary Magdalene, for whom also writings say Jesus had a special love, who he would often kiss, who was described as his partner. She too was at the crucifixion, the first at his grave and the first to experience.
Notice the Bible verses. He doesn't post them because if you just read them, probably out of context, you could read them and notice how bogus it is, but especially in context,
his resurrection. His last words to her were, "Don't hold on to me, Mary, because I have to go now." Jesus was happily bisexual. He remained, unusually, unmarried, and clearly handled his sexuality and the sexual intimacy he shared in his relationships in a way that was responsible, respectful, and caused no hurt to others.
He was celibate. Idiot. Okay? But like I said, right, what are they trying to do? They're trying to... He wants to draw his own sexual fantasies. It's literally like he imagines this, like, pornographic scene, you know, that where, like, Jesus is just having sex with everyone in the circle and all that. It's totally blasphemous and disgusting and perverted, but that's literally what this is. That's literally what this is, okay? Because the Bible makes it pretty clear Jesus was celibate, right? Which is kind of the point, you know. He came to earth to fulfill, you know, the ultimate sacrifice on our behalf. He did not come to earth to reproduce or marry or whatever, right? But it's so disgusting.
He made no negative comments about or references to LGBTQIA plus issues. He didn't need to.
Sorry, I keep pausing, but he did affirm that the Old Testament, the Torah, are the word of his father, and those are pretty clear about that. So, and by the way, not on that front as well, not everything he said was written down, right? The Gospels are biographical accounts from the different apostles. So you don't know that, first of all, but just to me, the fact that he affirmed the Old Testament as the word of his father, as scripture, that's all you need to know about it, dude.
Because he understood that God has made us as we are, and what matters is that we are loving and act with integrity.
That's not what Jesus said.
Homophobes,
That's just
bigotry
completely...
and prejudice set out to conceal these things and to use Jesus as a weapon to judge and condemn others.
I don't know why it's
very
frozen,
thing-
guys. Hold on, let me see.
Others,
Oh,
the
it's
very
just frozen,
thing
I guess.
he asked us never to do. They do not realize that in doing so, they condemn Jesus just as the religious people of...
That's also not true. He says to judge righteously. Okay? Yes, judge righteously and don't judge hypocritically. True. It doesn't say don't judge. It says don't judge unrighteously.
They crucified him. When they do, challenge them that no loving, godly person would ever choose to use the Bible in this cruel way, and that they should follow Jesus's example, who was never homophobic.
So there you have it, folks. Completely sick creep. Okay. Forget. I'm not gonna say it. I'm not gonna say it. But I think you guys understand. Okay, that the guy clearly is a freak, and he's just sharing that with the entire. That's what's happening. That's exactly what is happening. Okay. There's no biblical suggestion. It also tells you too, besides just the sexual perversion that's on clear display, it also tells you too that despite how much these progressive bishops and stuff claim that, you know, Christians are supposed to love and you guys forget that. No, it actually shows that he's very incapable of love. Because the fact that he reads the Bible and reads mentions of love and Jesus loving and immediately thinks, oh, it must mean a sexual thing. It must be sexual. Shows that he actually just does not understand love, and he's probably never felt love and can't actually comprehend or give love. Give, like, actual genuine love. Because if to him, Jesus saying he loves is a sexual thing, you know, by beyond the fact that he's just a creep, which he is, it also shows that he, you know, and partially because he's a creep and his brain is so screwed up, he can't comprehend love. He legitimately can't. Because anyone who can would easily be like, okay, he loves it, doesn't mean it's sexual. The fact that his brain goes to that, so many things wrong on so many levels. Okay, and I think we get the point by now. All right. So there it is, folks. There is the Jesus is bisexual TikTok. Before we continue here on our stories, let me get caught up here with our super chats because I know we've got quite a few. So if you want to send one in right now to be read, I'm currently reading them right now. So let me get caught up here on these and let's check them out. All right, where did we leave off? I think we left off on Louisiana. Okay, here we go. All right, folks. Let's get caught up here. Okay, oh yeah, I read this one already. All right, here, I think this is from Louisiana. All right, screw it. Streamlabs is being stupid. I'm just going to read them, guys. Sorry. Okay, Louisiana for $2 says London looks like an occupied state during June. This is, there you go. London looks like an occupied state during June. Yes, I've seen this. I saw all those Union Jacks they have out, they replaced it with the pride flags, and that video is very heartbreaking. It really is, because have you seen the video where the worker taking it down, you know, some British guy looks up to him and says, "You're taking down the wrong effing flag, mate," and the British guys, the worker's like, "You don't think I know that?" And it's very sad. It's actually a very sad representation. He knows it is wrong. He knows what he is doing is wrong, but he's stuck, right? He's stuck. He has a job. You know, he has to do his job, and you know, he can't. He has to feed his family, so he's actively doing something he knows is evil, and it's kind of a sad representation of what it's like to serve the regime, both in the UK and America these days. Like literally, he knows what he's doing is immoral, and he still has to do it because, I don't know, follow orders, right? That's your job, mate. It's just sad. It's a sad video to watch. All right, thank you for the $2, Louisianimal. Let's move on here, folks. Arnie Hernandez for $5 said, what would your response be to those who claim Americans can't be this nation because minorities can't be Americans because this nation was meant for Anglo-Saxon Protestants? Well, to that I'd say, like, okay, well, what are you gonna do about it? Frankly, you know. Because even at the time of the founding, there were people outside of Anglo-Saxon Protestants in America. But, you know, I understand the arguments regarding immigration and things like demographics and all that. But, you know, at the end of the day, right, we have to work with what we have, okay? So you're here as a Hispanic in this country. I'm here as an Asian. And I understand some people say we shouldn't be here to begin with. And, you know, if you want to talk about past immigration policies and stuff, I'm not going to call you racist or whatever. I think those are fair discussions to be had, but it is what it is now. So I think, frankly, we all need to work together to make the country what the best we can make it, the best situation we can make it, right? Like, what would you prefer? That, I understand we're minorities in conservatism too, and like I'm not saying, oh, let's just have endless immigration because we can just convince everyone of conservatism, because obviously not. But you know, there's a certain point at which it's like, okay, well, fine, what are we gonna do about it? So that's my take on it. Thank you for the $5, Arnie. And you know, that's the way I see it. Thank you for the $5. I appreciate it. Louisianimal for $2 says, that age on TikTok, that's food for thought. Thank you for the $2. You'd be surprised. A lot of, especially I notice older women for some reason. I think they want to be cool or be on the app their kids are on. I notice very often there's quite a few that actually are on TikTok. But it's true. Yeah, she's way too old for TikTok. So thank you for the $2, Louisianimal. Dollar for $2 says, they always say food for thought. We ain't thinking. This is true. We ain't thinking. We is not thinking. Thank you for the $2, dollar for dollar. Let's take a look what else we got here. Got a lot of $2 ones tonight. JD for $2 says, Abbott told the Aussie to go back. Mum on illegals. This is so true. Thank you for the $2, JD. Yeah, Greg Abbott told that Australian girl to go back, but let's see how he responds to the migrants and stuff, right? Because he could be doing a lot better job, frankly, at the Texas border. Not that he's doing nothing, but it's true. Would he say that about an illegal who comes over the southern border? No. But when it comes to the Australian, I guess that's convenient because no one's going to call him racist for it. Yeah, very true. Thank you for the $2. Trigonaut for $2 says, Spanish Inquisition Part 2, when? Thank you for the $2, Trigonaut. Good question. I'm not entirely sure. Thank you for the $2. All right, let's see. Where do we leave off here? Okay, I read that one. All right, so we're on this one now. All right, let's see what else we got here in the live chat. And then we got to move on to this one story about like Christianity being labeled hate speech. And then we got to talk about the Python, and then we'll do Q&A, okay? But let's take a look. We're finishing up here on our Super Chats. Zachary for $5 says, no wonder they call us PDF files when we say we love our daughters. Yeah, it's a projection. I've never heard that said, but it's true. It's a projection. It's a projection because these people are legitimately so sick and demented and twisted that they can't understand love outside of sex and romantic attraction. It's true. Literally disgusting, perverted people. Thank you for the $5, Zachary. God bless you. Okay, here we go. Last super chat here for this session. Z Commander 9088 says, I also found that TikTok very offensive and disrespectful on a personal level. I know it goes without saying, but I felt I must address it. I'm not sure which TikTok you're talking about there, Z Commander, because I think they were all offensive and disrespectful on many different levels. But thank you for the $5. I appreciate it. And it's true. It's certainly true. All right, actually, I think we did get one more here. Okay, no. Okay, I think we're all caught up here on our Super Chats, ladies and gentlemen. All right, folks, thank you for the Super Chats. I will read the rest as they come in, so feel free to do so. Again, like I said, we're going to be doing a pretty lengthier, I project, Q&A portion tonight. So any super chats you want to send in, feel free to do so. Appreciate them very much. And yeah, let's continue here on, ladies and gentlemen. All right, next story we got on the docket. Okay, folks. So, you know, we've known for a long time that as you saw in the video we just played, we've known for a long time that anti-Christian hate is pretty mainstream and normalized in America. And, you know, I don't think that should be shocking to anyone. It is culturally acceptable to literally look at the Lil Nas X video, right? It's culturally acceptable to sodomize the devil, okay, on camera, on a music video. And, whereas on the other hand, if you try to insult any other religion like that, you know what would happen. So we've known this for a very long time, and it shouldn't be shocking to anyone. But to some degree, I look at something like this and say that it still is. Just the level of transparency that these people are willing to go out there and say, and pretty blatantly say that basic beliefs of Christianity, to label them hate speech. So check this out, okay? What am I talking about? Well, this actually happened in our own capital this week, okay? Sitting members of Congress are basically labeling, again, these are not extreme anything. This is basic beliefs that are central to Christianity as hate speech. So anyways, Lizzie Marbach, who I believe is a congresswoman in this country, says that there is no hope for any of us outside of having faith in Jesus Christ alone. Of course, as everyone knows, that is a very basic central belief of Christianity, right? Which is that Jesus is the only way to the truth, okay? And just to substantiate that, I mean, everyone always talks about John 3:16, but the verse that comes to a verse or two after John 3:16, right? John 3:18 says, whoever believes in him being Jesus, is not condemned, but whoever does not believe is condemned already because he has not believed in the name of the only Son of God. That's John 3:18. John 14:6. I am the way and the truth and the life. No one comes to the Father except through me. Right? And I think most people know this about Christianity. We as Christians believe, right, that Jesus is the only way to salvation, the only way to the truth, ultimately, at the end of the day, right? But anyways, you got the response here from Congressman Max Miller of Ohio, who responds to this tweet. Again, a very basic central belief of the Christian religion. In fact, I would argue the statement right here, it's not just a belief of the Christian religion. I would argue it itself is the Christian religion, right? That statement, right? That is what Christianity is. I'm not even going to say it's what Christians believe in a sense. No, this is centrally what Christianity is Lizzie Marbach's statement there, right there. Anyways, he responds to it by saying, this is one of the most bigoted tweets I have ever seen. One of the most bigoted he has ever seen is her stating the definition of Christianity, okay? Delete it, Lizzie. Religious freedom in the United States applies to every religion. You have gone too far. Well, in fairness, I don't think that's what the tweet is saying, right? She's tweeting, this is what we believe as Christians, okay? She didn't make a political statement saying other religions should be illegal. But there you have it. There you have it, right? The Christianity itself is being labeled hate speech. And obviously this person is a Democrat, and you're probably thinking to yourself, oh, that's not surprising. We know Democrats believe that. Of course, Democrats are anti-Christian. Why is that surprising to anyone? Well, it's not just a Democrat thing, because Republican Representative Casey Weinstein went out here and said, we may be on opposite sides of the aisle, but I stand with Max on this. Delete it, Lizzie. Okay? Again, folks, what she is saying, the fact that there is no hope for us except for having faith in Christ alone, that is Christianity. Okay, so what both of them are saying is that Christianity itself is bigotry. Christianity itself is hate speech. Okay, and you're seeing this pretty transparently come out. I mean, I know for a while everyone has, insulting Christians in the culture is not anything new. Like I said, look at Lil Nas X, look at all of that stuff. But we're now hitting the point where it's not just a matter of before when you had these satanic displays and all that stuff, right? The reason they did that was pretty blatantly to just take shots at Christianity and insult Christians and put down Christians. And everyone's always known that. But the excuse they've always said is religious freedom, right? Hey, look, it's our freedom of speech. We respect you as Christians, but you should respect us, right? That's sort of the slippery slope we were at before. But now we're pretty much at the point where it's not a matter of, oh, you have my beliefs. And by the way, it was never intended to be like this. This was never their intent. But what they told us, right, is you have my beliefs. Okay, you have your beliefs, but also I need to have my beliefs. And so me, sodomizing the devil, that's religious freedom, right? On the camera, this is what these people said. But now we're hitting to the logical conclusion, and they're just saying it openly what these people were always about, which is no. They are against Christianity itself. They want it to be labeled hate speech and bigotry. They pretty essentially, as you see here, right, are labeling just Christianity itself to be hate speech. And this is the point they're at, where they want to get rid of Christianity. They want to demonize it. They borderline want to make it illegal. And you're seeing this trend more and more. For instance, you may have seen this a few weeks ago. The group Terror Alarm, which is actually a AI generated news thing, but it's like it's interesting. It's AI generated, so it tells you what the programmers of the Matrix itself literally think. But you saw this tweet from them, which is apparently Jesus Christ is Lord. Here, actually, let me move so you can see. Christ is Lord was trending on Twitter. Okay, now obviously Christ is Lord is a central belief. It is Christianity, right? That's why it's called Christianity, because we follow Christ. We believe Jesus Christ is Lord, right? But what did Terror Alarm respond to it? They called it an anti-Semitic phrase. Okay, folks? It says anti-Semitic phrase, Jesus Christ is Lord, is trending. Why is Elon Musk doing nothing while anti-Semitic Christian fundamentalists use bots to manipulate Twitter's algorithm and distort the trending page? Okay, so here we go again. And people may say, oh, Vince, it's AI generated. Well, you may say that. It has at least 700 likes. Okay, I understand they got ratioed and rightfully so. But this is not the first time I've heard the phrase literally Christ is Lord be labeled hate speech, anti-Semitic, and all these things. And that's what they are pushing. That's the point we're going to, which is Christianity itself is hate speech. What do they think of hate speech? They think it should be deplatformed. They think it should be removed. They think a lot of millennials actually think by the polls that hate speech itself should be illegal. So where we headed into this country, we're of course headed to the point where Christianity itself, the basic beliefs of Christianity, are trending towards being outlawed or persecuted or deplatformed or whatever it is. And frankly, that tells you everything, does it not? Because, of course, these people use the excuse for so many years, oh, well, listen, yeah, I'm promoting Satanism and communism very openly, but that's just my freedom, right? And I respect, and this is what the liberals kind of platform themselves with, was this line of religious freedom and free speech. Look, I'm just doing this because of my freedom. I respect you have the right to be Christian, but I'm doing it because I have the right to be a Satanist. Of course, they never believed you have the right to be a Christian, because now that they have all the control, now that they have the cultural power, now that you've hit the point where the Christians, the conservatives, the reactionaries really have no power to do anything, they're just now outright saying, actually, no, Christianity is hate speech. Actually, no. Basic Christian beliefs such as Christ is Lord, Christ is the only hope for salvation. These are bigoted. These are hate speech. These are anti-Semitic. These are all these different things. And frankly, believe that they should be deplatformed. Okay? Max Miller literally says, delete it. Okay? He said it should be deleted. So he believes the belief that we need to have faith in Jesus Christ to be saved, which is Christianity. Delete it, is what he says. Republicans even agree. It's a bipartisan thing, apparently, to think Christianity is hate speech. And even on this, right? Terror Alarm is calling for, why are you doing nothing about this? So he's calling for the deplatforming of it. Or the AI, I should say, is calling for the deplatforming of it. This is where we're headed. Okay? Again, folks, they literally believe that Christianity itself is hate speech. And, it's shouldn't surprise anyone, but, it definitely is worth pointing out. So there you have it. There you have it, folks. Shame on the Republican guy for agreeing, by the way. It's unbelievable. Unbelievable. But I don't know. Shouldn't be surprising to anyone. All right, folks, so that said, that wraps up our main stories for tonight. It is 8:45, so like I said, we'll move on to Q&A now in a second. So any questions you got, let's actually answer questions tonight, okay? So any Q&A questions you got for me, feel free to put them in the live chat. Of course, Super Chats will be prioritized, so feel free to do so via the Super Chats. I will certainly read those. But before we get fully into the Q&A stuff, okay, we got to talk more about the Python, all right? So for the people who are not here in the beginning of the stream, I bought a Burmese python, okay? And people are gonna be like, did you lose your mind? Well, probably yes. But my favorite snake hunter, actually, let me show you. Let me show you the guy I bought the python from, because I don't know if people are familiar. We got to show you guys Fishing Garrett, okay? But if you guys have seen the video of that guy, he goes around, he's like the Florida man, okay? He's not a Florida man, he's the Florida man, okay? Let me show you who I'm talking about here. So this guy, Fishing Garrett, I'm sure some of you guys have seen him. He goes to the Florida Everglades making videos like this. Okay, so check it out.
Because I'm in the Florida Everglades and I just found a swamp hole. Jeez, that was a bit dramatic. Where'd you go? You know where the 20-footer is? Ooh, what do we got here? Yoink. Just a banded water snake giving me a kiss. This American crocodile was just inches from me. She came up out of nowhere. Turns out she's watching her babies. Thanks for not giving me a kiss, Mama. You sure are beautiful. Boy, oh boy, that's the closest I've been. You take care now, sweetheart. Check out this little cottonmouth. Gotta make sure they cross the road. Ain't he a cute little fella? Got me a handful of tokay geckos. These guys are coming home with me. They're invasive. Ooh, yoink.
Yoink.
We got an Everglades racer. Don't usually find them at night. Right here we got the classic Burmese python. Where's the 20-footer? I know you know where he is. You better quit hissing and be a good boy. Right here we got a juicy old cane toad. Yoink. Alright, this is an interrogation. Tell me where the 20-foot python is. Because I'm in the
Okay, so this guy, right? I'm sure some of you guys have seen this guy, the python guy. Anyways, he caught... These right here are the pythons I have. I have one of these guys. He found a nest of like 20... hatchlings of Burmese pythons. So
Hey guys, I'm in the Florida Everglades and I'm standing right behind a sleeping swamp puppy. But not for long, he's awake. And look, he's staring at my feet. I'm still out here looking for that 20-foot Burmese python and I'm grinding for it. I found this little one though. He is just staring at me. He doesn't know what's about to happen. Yoink. You're coming home with me, little fella. Check out this big girl. This is a mud snake and it is gorgeous. I'm pretty sure she's gonna have babies soon. Gotta watch your step out here. There's cottonmouths everywhere. I just heard a bullfrog. Got him. Little tropical orb weaver. Boop. Ooh, almost got me. I don't see any snakes, guys. Do you guys see any snakes out here?
These guys.
Just kidding, I got them.
Yeah, so that's literally what I have right here. Is one of the ones he has in his hand, I presume. He found a nest of 53 Burmese python hatchlings, and he started selling them in jars. And I was like, I need that. Okay, so
baby Burmese pythons, fresh out of the egg.
Only spent $100 on it. Okay, I spent $100. Wisest investment I've ever made. You know, young people, they're so stupid with their money, they don't invest. Okay, well, I did invest in a python. All right? The only thing better than Noble Gold Investments, VinceDaoGold.com, is the Vince Python. This is true.
Juicy corn snake, yoink. Gotta love the corn snakes. They're a great native species we have here in Florida. Missed the yoink on this Cuban 9-0, but he jumped out and yoink, got him.
Okay, so point, you guys get the point. Point being, all right, I saw he was selling on Etsy the pythons, okay? And I was like, I need a Burmese python. Because everyone always wants, oh, snake skin. Look, I have snake skin wallet. Oh, I'm so bougie. I have a snake skin belt. Oh, yeah? Yeah? Well, who's the real designer? I have a literal snake, okay? So next time anyone's like, oh, look at my snake skin thing. Look at my alligator skin thing. I have a snake, okay? Yours doesn't have organs. Mine's does. Anyways. All right. So when I saw it, though, I will say this. When I saw it advertised on Etsy, it was like in a jar full of liquid. And so what I assumed I was buying, I have to say, I have a little bit of buyer's remorse. Because what I thought I was buying is like a preserved thing. You know, it'll always be in the liquid, kind of just like fossilized, just, you know, sit around in the liquid. But apparently I got to take care of this thing. Okay, because apparently they douse it in alcohol. But see how fresh it looks? It literally looks alive. It literally looks alive. But see how preserved it is? Okay. Apparently, in order to keep it in this preserved state, you have to take care of it. Okay, I have this. Check it out. It's a wet specimen care guide. And it says the first step is to remove the specimen from its packaging. Yeah, it is recommended to wear gloves. But it says you need 70% isopropyl alcohol to finish the last step in the preserving process. So apparently you can go a few days, but I need to find 70% isopropyl alcohol and pour it in the jar. Okay? So I have to fill it in the alcohol, and then it'll be preserved. Okay? So apparently I gotta actually take care of this thing. I gotta take care of it and like put alcohol. So I didn't know that. I was hoping I didn't have to do any work, but I guess I do have to do work. And I mean, I guess that's the work of owning a pet python, right? A dead pet python. So I don't know. Long story short, I bought the python, and it's all for a good cause. It's all for a good cause because anyone who lives in Florida knows this. The Burmese pythons are an invasive species. They're tearing up the entire Everglades, so they need to be killed. And the state of Florida actually pays you to kill them. So this guy makes a living off of killing the pythons. And I bought it to support him because Fishing Garrett is a G. He is the Florida man. So I was more than happy to give him $100 to have his python. So there it is, folks. There's the python. Like I said, we can keep him right there if you want, or you know, I don't know what to do. I feel like he needs a better jar. This looks like a cheap. You know what he needs? He needs a mason jar. Do you guys agree? That'll be the most like southern thing ever. You just have a Burmese python in a mason jar, fill it with the alcohol so it looks like moonshine. That's what we're gonna do. Okay, I think that's what we need to switch out this jar, and again, like I said, put him in a mason jar. Okay. Now, of course, I'm going to have to transfer him, and I don't know if I really want to touch this thing, so I got to figure that out, because I might break the snake when I'm trying to transfer it. So that's an issue, but I feel like he needs a mason jar. Could you imagine having a Burmese python in a mason jar? I feel like that's a W, okay? But yeah, someone remind me tomorrow. I need to buy 70% isopropyl alcohol to put it in there, okay? So, you know. This is true. This is true. All right. With that said, let's get into our Q&A tonight. And I'm also taking names for the python suggestion. Okay. What should we name the python? All right. So we need to have this debate. All right, folks, let's get into our Q&A. So like I said, reading super chats. So feel free to send them in, and we'll take a couple questions from the regular chat as well. All right, Burgundy Blue for $2 says, Q&A question, why is your Twitter not in dark mode? Because, first of all, Twitter is supposed to be in light mode. Now, I will say on my phone, it does have... I have the thing on my phone where it goes light mode during the day, dark mode during the night, okay? So it kind of switches. Because during the daytime, it's bright, it wakes me up. During nighttime, it's darker, so it doesn't wake you up as much. But I will say that for the purposes of engagement, if you are a content creator out there, keep this in mind. Everyone always says, why you're not in dark mode? And... light mode is more engaging because it pops out at your eyes, okay? So that's part of why I do it. Whenever I screenshot a tweet, I usually have it in light mode because the white actually pops out of your eyes more, and it's actually better for engagement if you're a content creator. So that's part of the reason why I use light mode, is because it actually helps the content itself in terms of popping out at your eyes. So there's a little social science lesson, which by the way has never been studied. I just noticed that myself. So don't ask for sources, because I just kind of realized that myself. Anyway, Sheeny Beanie for $2 says, can you eat the python? All right, Sheeny Beanie. I'm not going to eat the python for $2, okay? Send me like 10 million and maybe we'll talk about it. But I'm not... For $2? You want me to eat the python for $2? Okay. This is... No. Okay. You just view me as a cheap pay pig? Absolutely not. I have dignity. Anyways, JD for $2 says, Max Miller is a... Oh, okay, so he's a Republican. I didn't even know that. I assumed he was a Democrat. Okay, so the other guy is a... Okay. Anyways, long story short, we have bipartisan consensus. We have bipartisan consensus that, you know, that apparently Christianity is hate speech. Okay, so there you go. Sheeny Beanie for $2 says, can we get the rice farmer hat for the Q&A? It's too much visual stimulus, Sheeny Beanie. We tonight is the python, Okay, tonight's theme is the Python, but thank you for the $2. Appreciate it. Burgundy Blue for $5 says, what do you think of Kyle's take in this video? In my opinion, he's kind of in bad faith. All right, please tell me it's a short video. Let's see. What is this video here? Oh, Kyle Kalinske? Well, Kyle Kalinske is always in bad faith, and he's just a cringe liberal. But okay, there, let's take a look. All right, let's take a look. This is Burgundy Blue's video. Let's see.
We have a light bulb moment here, y'all. A light bulb moment from evangelical Christians. So this is in a Raw Story. They say, a pastor is alarmed after Trump-loving congregants deride Jesus' teachings as weak. Well, now they're just saying the quiet part out loud. We knew that they felt that for a while, but now they're actually saying it. Evangelical Christian leader Russell Moore.
I seriously doubt that's what they're teaching, okay? It's that very often the way in churches these things are taught, especially like more progressive or more moderate quote-unquote churches, they'll teach a very one-sided narrative, right? They'll just say, oh yeah, Jesus was like this hippie that loved everyone and that's all that our faith is, which is not, okay? So you can pick out this one Bible passage and say, and just miss context and just apply it to say, well, you're not being very loving right now. But, you know, it doesn't mean that they're rejecting all the teachings of Christ. It means that they're in context and, you know. So, yeah, right off the gate, I already think it's probably bad faith. It's definitely bad faith.
Or revealed this week that many evangelical pastors of forgiveness and mercy as central to Christian doctrine. Quote,
true, they are. Okay, and? Right, but it also says... Sorry. It also says, the Bible also says we're supposed to expose darkness, okay? Even turn the other cheeks a little bit taken out of context, because that is kind of an expression in Hebrew that doesn't really mean what we think it to be. So yes, it is true. Be forgiving, be merciful. Absolutely. But it doesn't mean that we're not supposed to stop evil, okay? You know, so yeah, I will say, I've only listened to 40 seconds of this, but it does seem to be bad faith to me. Thank you for the $5, Burgundy Blue. Appreciate it very much. Let's get moving on here to our other super chats for you guys. Wait, hold on. I'm gonna switch to this camera. All right. Here we go. Twin Lakes 1517 for $5 says, the soldier defecting to North Korea is oh yeah, I saw that. This black soldier defected to North Korea says, is the end result of CRT in the military and CRT in general. If you heard the update on why he defected. Well, I heard he allegedly, right, he defected because America is racist, whatever, and he said he thought North Korea was going to accept him. And from all accounts, it seems like North Korea is not accepting him because it's North Korea. So, yeah, I mean, that's pretty funny to me. You know, it's... Okay, fine. It's not funny. Okay, it's not funny because the guy's in trouble. Okay, disavow. Joe, that I misspoke. But you know, it's like, well, you know, he's enjoying what that's what he wanted, right? He wanted to be in North Korea. So I mean, I say let North Korea have him. That's where he wants to be. You know, I'm not unlike the North Koreans who make you stay in the country. I'm totally against that. I think if you want to leave the country, go ahead. So. You know, if he's happy in North Korea, then, you know, God bless him. God bless him, truly. You know, but this is true. But yeah, it sounds to me like he's not liking it there. So, anyways, Sheeny Beanie for $2 says Python named Steve. I actually kind of like that. It's such an unassuming name, just to name the Python Steve. I think that's a decent idea, Sheeny Beanie. I actually, you know, we might do that. I will consider that. I don't think there's any problem with naming the Python Steve. I feel like that's kind of funny. So, you know, maybe we should. Actually, before I forget, why don't I just order... No, I'll do it after the stream. I was going to say, why don't I just order the alcohol now for the Python? But, you know, maybe we'll just do it after the stream. What if the Python is still alive and he just gets drunk? What if we have a drunk Python? Okay. And he just comes to life? Do you think this Python gets lit when he's drunk? Do you think the Python will do a keg stand? I think we should try it. They say put alcohol on the thing. The Python's gonna start doing a keg stand. He's gonna be my little frat bro. Okay, we're gonna party together. We're both gonna do keg stands and you know. I mean, does it look like a lightweight to you? I don't think so. This is true. This is true. Okay. I think this Python is a real frat guy. And they want me to pour alcohol on him because it'll wake him up. It's very true. Steve the Python. That sounds like a sitcom. Vince and Steve. Okay, Vince and Steve. We might name it Steve. We might actually name it Steve. I feel like Steve the Python is funny. Omar for $2 says, name the Python Medusa. See, if we want to be cool, yeah, Medusa. You know, freaking snake, right? But if we want to be fun, I feel like Steve is funny. It's just like, look at this Python. Everyone's terrified of it. What's his name? Oh, Steve. So it depends the angle. Like, yeah, if I want to be cool, if I want to show off, like, yeah, look at this is Medusa right here. Okay, but I feel like if you want to just be comical, then Steve is a funny name. So I don't know. I don't know. We gotta think. We gotta, because I'm getting a Camaro next month. Okay, by the way. So there you go. The Camaro as Medusa, like, that's kind of cool. But I feel like it's funny if this is just named Steve. We should name it Steve. I think I like Steve. Burgundy Blue for $2 says, we was Politburo chairman for cultural enrichment. So true, Burgundy Blue. So true. Thank you for the $2, Burgundy Blue. I appreciate it. And you know, this is real. That's what he was. We was Koreans. Very true. I'm still vouching for Billy. Billy's not a bad one too. Billy the Python. I think I might like Billy more than Steve. I feel like it's more Python. Vince Jr. Oh, so you're saying I'm a snake? That's not. It can't be named after myself because I'm not a snake. Okay, I'm an anti-snake person. But you know, I've gotten over the fear of this thing. But I have to say, when I first saw it, it's freaking scary. Because let me see if I can try to get it to where you did. It looks alive. Like, they did a good. It actually looks very alive. Like, you can't really tell. But I'm kind of getting over it now. Now I'm like, haha. Haha, you're dead, Python. Haha. I don't know. We need the name. Monty? Oh, that is kind of funny. Yes, Monty Python. Hey, what's up, Monty? I'm Monty Python. I have a Mickey Mouse voice. We should do that. Billy's a Yankee name. No Yankees. True. So Johnny Reb. This is Johnny Reb. This is Robert E. Lee the Python. Hey, what's the Python's name? Oh, the name? Oh, it's Robert E. Lee. That would actually be kind of funny. Can you imagine the liberal meltdown if I just named the Python Robert E. Lee? Oh jeez. Oh dear. Okay. Let's take a look what else we got. Actually, yeah, Dixie the Python. We got it. I think it should be Dixie the Python. There you go. Do you guys like that? You guys like Dixie? Let's do a poll. Let's do a poll in the chat, okay? Let's do a poll of the names. I may or may not follow the results, because honestly, if I disagree with the results, I'm just not going to listen to them. But let's do it. Okay. What should we name the Python? Let's see. Python name. All right. I think Dixie the Python is so good. But Dixie, Steve, Billy, and what was the other one? Monty? No, that's just corny. We're not naming it Monty. But Omar wanted Medusa, right? Yeah. All right, here we go. Putting the poll out there. I think Dixie the Python is perfect. I think it's perfect, okay? It's Dixie Python. It's not Monty Python, it's Dixie Python. I think that's perfect. Could you imagine? We can even put something on the jar that would offend people. That would actually be based. You guys are voting for Steve? And how am I the only one who likes Dixie the Python? Dixie the Python is 56% said Steve. This election is stolen. No, this is rigged. Okay, this is Dominion? Who's doing this? Dominion? Joking, of course. How is Steve winning over Dixie Python? That's the coolest. You people want Steve. You people want Steve. This is, this is anti-Southern propaganda, frankly. Okay? Unbelievable. Steve. Oh, Dixie the Python. Imagine how much you could do with Dixie the Python. Oh no, let's just name it Steve because I think Steve's a funny name. Unbelievable. Disappointing. Frankly, just disappointing. Okay? There you go. See, now I ruthlessly shamed Dixie into winning. Now Dixie the Python is winning. It's true. Stop the count. Shut it down. Shut it down. The Python's name is Dixie. Okay? Everyone say hi to Dixie the Python. Okay? This is true. This is true. We're naming it Dixie. His name can be Dixie Steve. How about that? That's kind of funny. Dixie Steve. All right, his full name is Dixie Steve, but we're just going to call him Dixie. Actually, Dixie Steve works. Okay, this is Dixie Steve. Maybe it's a girl python. Dixie Lee the Python. Will be so... You have a python named Dixie Lee! What are you going to do about it? Tell that to the python. That's so offensive. You can't name the python Dixie Lee. What are you trying to... Tell that to the python. That's so racist. Tell that to the python. I don't know. I don't know what we should do. Okay. I feel like Dixie Steve is funny though. Okay. Sheeny Beanie for 2 says give him a middle name. Steve Dixie. No, Dixie Steve. Dixie Steve the Python. All right. Dixie Lee Steve. I think it should just be Dixie Steve. Okay. It should just be Dixie Steve. Dixie Steve Lee. I don't know. No, just Dixie Steve. Dixie Steve, okay? Dixie Steve. All right? Because I don't know if it's a... Dixie Lee is like a girl name. And I don't know how to tell. I don't know how to tell. It looks androgynous to me. But... I think we need to go with Dixie Steve. All right. It's official. Ending the poll. The Python's name is Dixie Steve. Yeah. This is true. This is true. All right. He died. The backstory. How did he die? He died a noble death. Okay? At Pickett's charge. This is true. This is true. Okay? And now we immortalize the Southern heritage of Dixie Steve. True. So true. We're going to build a statue to Dixie Steve, and they're going to say, you need to tear down the statue. That Burmese python is racist. And we'll be like, no. Dixie Steve stands forever. Dixie Steve rises again. Okay? This is true. You will not stop the energy of Dixie Steve. Okay? This is very true. Zachary for $2 says, thoughts on Brandon Herrera running for Congress. I'm not super familiar with his campaign, but from everything I've heard, he seems to be a solid candidate and a good guy. So, like I said, not super familiar, but from everything I've heard, I think I'm definitely in favor of him. Thank you for the $2, Zachary. Burgundy Blue for $10 says, could you react to this embarrassing historical moment at 10:40? What is this embarrassing historical moment? 10:40. Let me see. What is he trying to send us? Okay, let's take a look here at whatever Burgundy Blue wants me to watch. All right, let's take a look. Okay. What is this?
To support a colonial system he considered intolerable, Wilkie did not have the best of relationships with Churchill. During his visit to the US in 1941, the Prime Minister thought it important to ingratiate himself with a likely successor to Roosevelt. Not wanting to meet openly with the president's political rival, though, Churchill had tried to arrange the audience with Wilkie clandestinely. Attempting to call him from a retreat in Palm Beach, the switchboard operator, by accident, put the Prime Minister through to Roosevelt instead. I am so glad to speak to you, gushed Churchill before asking whether the man he thought was Wilkie might join him on his train for part of the return journey to Washington. Whom do you think you are speaking to? The voice came back. To Mr. Wendell Wilkie, am I not? No, came the answer. You are speaking to the President. Who? Asked Churchill, not quite believing his ears. You are speaking to me, Franklin Roosevelt, came the reply. After some small talk, Churchill brought the conversation to a close. I presume you do not mind my having wished to speak to Wendell Wilkie, inquired Churchill. No, Roosevelt responded. Unconvinced, Churchill chose to avoid the meeting Wilkie had badly wanted so as to appear statesmanlike, to his permanent annoyance. The result was that the two men were not overly fond of each other, a situation further reinforced when Wilkie, on a trip to Moscow, very publicly called for a second front, something Churchill had just spent a huge amount of energy convincing Stalin was for the moment impossible.
Sounds pretty stupid to me. Thank you for the $10, Burgundy Blue. That is quite embarrassing. Indeed, that is quite embarrassing. Common incompetence of Roosevelt. Unironically. True. FDR, many such cases. Anyways, let us take a look here. My head is itchy. This is kind of amusing, but I'm not sure what you wanted Vince to react to. It's 10:40. What do you mean? Yeah, I put it at 10:40. It's true. Thank you for the $10. Appreciate it. Let's take a look here. All right, we're gonna wrap up this show here at about 9:20 p.m. So any last call for super chats, anything you want to send in, questions, comments, or comments on the Python. Dixie Steve, what did you think of the stream tonight? The South will rise again. Whoa, Dixie Steve, calm down there. You can't be saying that type of stuff on YouTube. No, the South will rise again. We will rise again. Yeah. All right, we gotta chill out with Dixie Steve. Okay, he's a bit much. Dixie, you can't say that on YouTube, Dixie Steve. Okay, you need to relax. Okay. All right. Stop. I think if you go in his jar, he has headphones right now. It's just playing Dixie and Southern Soldier on repeat, unironically. Wow. Unbelievable, Dixie Steve. You ever not? Can you just calm down a little bit? Okay? It's true. Yeah, that's Dixie Steve though. What are you gonna do? It's Dixie Steve. But anyways, let us take a look here. Let's take a look. Anything else we got going on in the chat, ladies and gentlemen? Dixie Steve goes well with each other for real. Yeah, no, it's great. It's wonderful. Okay? And he talks like Mickey Mouse. Why does he talk like Mickey Mouse? I have no idea. But he does. Okay? He's Mickey Mouse with sympathies towards, well, his name is Dixie Steve. Okay? That's the character. I think that's the character. Okay. All right. Dixie Steve needs to chill out. Okay. He needs to have optics and not say stuff like that. But there's no. What are you gonna say? What are you gonna say? You can put a filter on him. Okay. Accuse Dixie Steve of extremism. He's Dixie. Do you think Dixie Steve cares? He's not even alive. What does he care if you could accuse the snake of extremism? Okay. So this is very true. This is very true. Even better. All right, people do like Dixie Steve. So there you go. There you go. Scottish does Scottish stuff, says stop voting Dixie. What do you have against Dixie? His name is Dixie Steve, okay? Dixie Python Steve. Dixie Steve Python. I don't know. Chesscom support says, is Dixie Steve responsible for original sin? That is a good question. Dixie Steve, were you that snake? Were you that snake? Oh, no, I was not the snake. Oh. Okay, he says he wasn't, so there you go. So he's not possessed by Lucifer. At least that's what I don't really know what to trust from this guy or not, okay? All right? He just keeps rambling on about how the South will rise again, and he keeps singing The Night They Drove Old Dixie Down and Johnny Reb and I don't know. I bought a Confederate python. I don't know what to tell you guys. I don't know what to tell you guys. That's just what happened. This is what happened. Okay. This is what I don't know. It just happens. Or you buy a python. He's a Confederate. Oh, I don't know. What do you want me to do about it? What do you want me to do about it? Okay. All right. All the liberals are gonna be like, Vince has a Confederate. It's the python, not me. Okay. It's not my fault. The python I got was a Confederate. Okay, what are you looking at me for? Vince, no, it's a Confederate python. All right, what do you want? You want me to toss him in the trash because it's a Confederate python? No, it's a monument to history. He's a Confederate python. Literally the case. Okay, literally the case. So this is true. This is very true. Okay, it's very true. All right. Anyways, guys, again, 4 minutes left. Last call for super chats. Let me say hi to our Rumble chat. I got anyone watching in Rumble? What's up, Lucky Bird? Shout out to Lucky Bird in the Rumble chat. We got 8 people watching in the Rumble chat. Well, that's better than no people. Appreciate you guys. Actually, you're watching right now in the Rumble chat. Okay, let me put it in. Everyone, shout out to the Rumble chat. All right. Sadly, we did not get Rumble's opinions on the Python, so I don't know what Rumble thinks of the Python, but this is true. Bubba the snake. We should get another snake named Bubba. I think we should get another snake named Bubba. Real, literally real. All right, let's take a look here. $1 for $2 says Vince, how much can you bench? I actually don't know that because I don't bench. I mean, I when I was in high school, like freshman year, I was on the football team for a little bit. I think I got a max bench, but I don't remember what it is. And that was in 9th grade. But I don't bench at the gym. I do other stuff for chest. I do, regular chest press, flies, free weights and stuff. But I do not bench. So I don't know. So thank you for the $2. I don't know. I should test it out sometime. But when I work out, I don't normally go for like the generic. It's like I understand it's an ego thing, right? To do like the standard bench and the squat, deadlift, all that stuff. But I don't know. See, my dad is like bodybuilded for 10 years, and if you see him, he's a masculine like. No one ever expects how like buff my dad is. My dad unironically, and my people who know my dad know this, he unironically looks like Vin Diesel or The Rock or something, right? But I don't know. When I was training with him growing up, he told me to actually stay away from bench press because it's not good for your shoulders, and if you're gonna do it, do like Smith machine and free chest press. And the advice kind of stuck. So I don't know. Hot take, people can get mad, but I don't do the kind of masculine ego squat, deadlift, bench press stuff. I train for the bodybuilding and leave, and that's it. So I don't know how much I can bench. I should try it. I don't know how much I can. $1 for $1 says, bro, you gotta bench. Oh, I know everyone's gonna say, bro, you gotta bench. But I mean, first of all, I go to the gym alone, so what do you want me to do? How am I gonna max out a bench like that? I don't, end up like Stephon Johnson. If you know, you know. But that's like that. A lot of that stuff is like rough on your shoulders. The straight bench press, I used to do a Smith machine growing up, but I don't have one at my gym now. But I feel like a lot of that stuff, hot take, is kind of like ego. Same thing with deadlift. Deadlift is kind of a psyop in a way because it's terrible for you. It's like terrible for your back, right? And I get it. There's an ego to it. Oh, slam the weight on the ground. But there's plenty of ways you can just train your quads and your back and all the stuff that gets trained and deadlifted in like many other ways. So, like I know that's a hot take, but like I said, I think it's kind of an ego thing. I don't know. My bodybuilder father growing up told me to stay away from that stuff because it'll mess up your joints long term. So I'm like, okay, well then fine. I don't know. People get mad at that. I'm not hating on it if you do, but I don't know how much I can bench, tell you the truth. Burgundy Blue for $2 says, what are your thoughts on JJ McCullough? Who the heck is that? I don't know who that is. No idea who that is. Let's see. JJ McCullough is a YouTuber. Okay. I don't know who this person is. He's a YouTuber with almost 1 million. I don't know who he is, but he has a stupid looking mustache. Let me see. Oh wait, no, wrong browser. Okay, anyways. No, I don't know who this guy is, but his mustache is trying too hard. So that's all I'll say about JJ McCullough. Other than that, I have no idea. I don't know who he is. But yeah, thank you for the $2 Burgundy Blue. Again, no idea. But let's take a look here. All right, it's about 9:20, so I've got no more super chats. I will just wrap up the stream here. So thank you to everyone who tuned in. And Dixie Steve, you got anything to say? Everyone subscribe, leave a like on the stream, get us to 100 likes, Oh, there you go. There you go. True. So true, Dixie Steve. All right, that's it, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you to everyone who tuned in. I got to hop off and buy the alcohol to put this python in. We're going to have a drunk python. Dixie Steve. I think, isn't it? This paper is a psyop. Dixie Steve just wants moonshine. I bet you if I just pour all smoky moonshine into this jar, like he'll come to life. It'll be my friend. It'll be a little cartoon. Anyways, thank you to everyone who tuned in. Let's get to 100 likes before we go. Be sure to join us live again tomorrow night here on the channel at 8 p.m. Eastern Time, where I will have a special announcement, actually, probably tomorrow night. So, stay tuned for that, because we've got a pretty, I won't say the biggest announcement ever, but a pretty decently sized, exciting announcement for you guys tomorrow night. So be sure to tune in, 8 p.m. Eastern Time. And until next time, ladies and gentlemen, for me, for the studio, for our super chatters, for Dixie Steve, I have been your host, thevincedao. Thank you to everyone who tuned in. And until I see you guys tomorrow night, Alpha Move is only. God bless. Have a very good night. And peace.